She gripped the metal tray with trembling fingers, trying to hide the artificial leg beneath her uniform pants. The cafeteria was full, again. No empty seat. No escape from the stairs. But then she saw him. A janitor, old, quiet, head bowed over a cleaning log. He looked harmless enough. So she took a breath, swallowed her pride, stepped forward, and asked the simplest question. "Can I share this table?" The janitor lifted his eyes, slowly, like someone waking from a memory he didn't want to remember. And what he said next stunned her, the entire cafeteria, and ultimately changed both of their lives forever. Lieutenant Maya Walker had survived explosions, gunfire, and years of battlefield chaos. But nothing prepared her for the silence of civilian life. 2 months had passed since the ambush that took her leg. Her rehabilitation was slow, painful, and filled with the kind of loneliness she couldn't explain. People looked at her differently now, not with admiration, but with pity. The military hospital cafeteria was the worst. Everyone sat with their groups. The healthy soldiers avoided the wounded. The wounded stuck together but pitted each other. And Maya belonged to neither. Today, she was determined not to eat in her room again. So she limped her way through the rows of tables, tray rattling with every step of her prosthetic leg. Every seat was taken. Every eye shifted away. Every laugh felt like it cut through her uniform. She kept moving until she spotted him. An old janitor. Simple gray uniform. A broom leaning against the seat beside him. A coffee cup half empty. His hand shook slightly, but his posture was rigid, almost like an old soldier. Maya hesitated. She didn't want to bother him. But exhaustion, embarrassment, and hunger forced the words out of her mouth. "Sir, can I share this table?" The janitor looked up, slowly. His eyes weren't ordinary. They were the kind that had witnessed storms, wars, and regrets. He didn't respond immediately. He just stared at the prosthetic leg Maya tried to hide. Finally he spoke, quiet, but sharp enough to slice through the air. "You don't have to ask permission to sit in your own house, Lieutenant." Maya blinked. Her own house? She didn't understand. The janitor closed his cleaning log. "You serve this country. This whole building stands because soldiers like you bled for it. You sit wherever you want." She sat slowly, stunned by the unexpected respect. Minutes passed in silence. Then the janitor surprised her again. "You must be new to the prosthetic. The limp says the socket's still rough. The hesitation, that's psychological, not physical." Maya froze. "How do you know all that?" The janitor looked down at his trembling hands. "I've seen hundreds of soldiers come through here. Some leave with medals, others leave with scars deeper than bone." Something about his tone, heavy and broken, made Maya ask the question she had been avoiding. "Did you serve?" The janitor didn't answer right away. Instead, he stood up, reached for his pant leg, and slowly lifted it. Beneath the fabric was a metal rod. He had a prosthetic leg too. Maya gasped. You lost your leg too?" The janitor nodded, lowering his pant leg. "A long time ago. But my loss wasn't on a battlefield. It was because I didn't listen when a young soldier needed help." Maya stared at him, confused. "What do you mean?" He looked away, his voice trembling. "Someone trusted me to have their back, and I failed. Doesn't matter how many years pass, that kind of failure doesn't disappear." Maya leaned forward. "Who did you lose?" The janitor closed his eyes. "My son." Silence fell so thick that Maya felt it pressing against her chest. She didn't know what to say. But before she could ask more, the cafeteria speaker called out. "Lieutenant Maya Walker, please report to the rehabilitation wing." Maya stood, but before leaving, she placed her hand over the janitor's. "Thank you for letting me sit here." He gave a faint smile. "Come back tomorrow. You walk better when you're not walking alone." And for the first time since her injury, Maya smiled, genuine, warm, and hopeful. Maya returned the next day, and the next, and the next. Every lunch break, she found the old janitor sitting at the same corner table, sipping weak coffee, pretending not to wait for her. They developed a quiet routine. He noticed every improvement in her walk. She noticed every tremble in his hands. One day, after weeks of shared meals and heavy stories, Maya finally asked, "Why did you leave the military? With your knowledge, you could have been anything." The janitor took a long breath. "I didn't leave. I was removed." Maya's eyes widened. "For what?" His voice cracked. "My son was in my unit. He kept volunteering for risky missions. I let him, because he wanted to prove himself. One night, he stepped on a pressure mine. I tried to pull him out before the medics got there." He swallowed hard, fighting memories that still bled. "I saved his men, but not him. The explosion took his life, and my leg." Maya felt tears burn her eyes. I'm so sorry." He gave a sad smile. "That's why I clean floors now. I couldn't stand being in command again. But I still wanted to stay close to soldiers, so maybe I could help someone else walk through their pain." Maya reached across the table and squeezed his hand. "You helped me more than you know." The janitor looked up, surprised. "I did." "You did," she said firmly. "I thought losing my leg meant losing my purpose. But you showed me that scars don't end your story, they prove you survived." The janitor's eyes softened. "And what will you do with that survival?" Maya took a deep breath. "Reapply for active duty. Not frontline, but as a rehabilitation officer. I want to train soldiers who come back like us. I want them to know they're not broken." The janitor stared at her, proud, emotional, relieved. "That," he whispered, "is a mission worth fighting for." Maya smiled, steady and confident. "And I want you to be there when I submit my reapplication." The janitor blinked, stunned. "Me? Why?" She stood, lifted her tray, and said, "Because the day I asked you if I could share this table, your reply saved me." He frowned gently. "My reply?" Maya nodded. "You told me I didn't need permission to sit in my own house." She placed her hand on his shoulder. "And now I want you to hear mine." She leaned closer, her voice steady and full of emotion. "You don't have to live in your guilt anymore. This is your house too." The janitor's breath trembled as tears slid down his cheeks. For the first time in years he didn't hide them. Maya extended her hand. "Come on. Let's walk together." The old janitor nodded, rising slowly, 2 prosthetic legs, 2 wounded souls, both learning to stand again. And as they walked through the bright hallway, step by step, something remarkable happened. Not a limp, not a stumble, but 2 lives finding strength in each other.